Hello, Libra. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. All right, Libra, this one has a lot of different things going on to it. But one of the things that I will say is contracts is mentioned in both of these cards. So, for those of you who are signing anything, I would just be careful and make sure you read everything. But this week from Lay Vampire, you pulled reason. Listen to advice, think clearly, and intellect. But then, it's funny because you pulled balance, which, that is you, but here you're seeking it for sure. Now with reason, this is really about clearing your mind, listening to practical advice, working your way through a dilemma, but getting out of habitual ways of thinking. Now, what stuck out to me though here is the curse because of balance being here. Now it says fear of accepting advice that seems almost too sensible, a belief that nothing is easy, panicking and being overwhelmed with details and paperwork, feeling you have no one to turn to. And I worry about that because balance is saying that you're chasing illusions. This is about running towards something and chasing it away and needing to be careful about being deceived by your own desires, and there's compulsive behavior there though too, and self-neglect. But the card at a glance says this card may indicate a reluctance to change. You may be hesitating because of the past, but that doesn't mean you should be hasty. Weigh all sides before moving forward. This could mean the start of a relationship. Proceed slowly. But like I said, the thing that stuck out here was the contracts, though, for some of you. All right, Libra, here we go. Here is your overall for the week. Temperance. Needing to be patient. Needing that equilibrium, right? Getting that nice even flow between what you're wanting, how you're thinking, how you're feeling here. But guidance, that's one of the parts that I love about temperance, and you got Sag front and center here. But it makes sense that this is the overall, just looking at the oracle cards. Now I don't like to point out the negative things, but one of the reasons why I bought Lay Vampire is because it talks about some of the things that we may not want to deal with sometimes. But, I do think that some of you, it bothers me because both of them are like being turned away by other people. But with temperance being here, this is a good thing either way. Now, in the past, the 10 of Wands, so being overwhelmed, carrying a bunch of shit here. And the thing with the 10 of Wands is, it shows that, you've worked really hard to get to the end here, but it's never a good thing when you take on too much responsibility. And some of you may be feeling a little bit weighed down right now, and I don't want to tell you to have patience with this because I'd be like, fuck it and drop it. But, with this being the past coming through, it seems to be an issue here. You're either still dealing with this or you are dropping it. In the present, wow, the High Priest, and I'm going to say it again. If you guys are signing anything, you make sure that you look at the fine print. Contracts comes up with the High Priest too. Now, this could be about commitments. This could be about, higher education, a better spiritual understanding here. But, it's bad enough having this overwhelming... It bothers me because the High Priest being a part of the fives talks about all the shitty stuff that we go through. And then on top of that, you're still overwhelmed and carrying a bunch of shit here. For some of you, you may be looking to get out of, a contract. All three of them. And I mean all three of them. If you go and you look at reason and you read that description from Lay Vampire, yeah. And then balance in the legend, it says the same thing. Future conditions, the King of Pentacles. Now, I'm not really feeling anything bad around this. You could definitely be dealing with a person here in terms of work. You're looking at Earth, but the King of Pentacles, right? It is about success. Now, I like to see him as a positive thing, somebody who is willing to give of their time and resources to help others out. but this could just be about your overall success though too, coming out here. But we'll see how this is lining up. But just looking at it, it's like, for you, there may be a need to get out of a situation that, there may be like a commitment to. This person may be involved, but really this whole reading is going to be about you needing to get that nice balance for yourself. Especially with Temperance being there. Your best path to follow, karma or judgment. This is saying that the past is the past. It is what it is. This cycle is over with. I don't think that this is a situation where karma's coming around to smack you in the ass. This is a little bit more positive, I think. Making amends with the past. It is what it is. You needing a clean slate here. And possibly needing to get out of something. But, that's major, though. But I don't see it as a bad thing. In your environment, the Three of Cups. Now, the High Priest does talk about the group, though, too. That, the Three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles, they're the few that actually talk about a group of people. With the Three of Cups being in your environment, now, there may be a new commitment that's being made. I'm hoping that this is a positive thing here with the Three of Cups. Because if you feel like you're being turned away from people, these may be the right people that are coming in now. Because normally the Three of Cups is a support group. They actually give a shit about what you're doing and what you're dealing with. And you're talking about celebration here with the Three of Cups too. And then you have the High Priest connected to it. And then Mr. King of Pentacles sitting there. So it may not be that bad, but, I don't know. I get iffy with the Three of Cups because it tends to show up when there's the cackling hen syndrome. But we'll see. Your hopes and your fears, security and stability. This may not be a really bad thing. I think that, if you are carrying too much right now, you may need to reach out to some people here, especially if you may be looking to get out of a commitment. But then on the other hand, I also feel like this may be happening though for some of you. The past is what it is. You're moving on now, and you may have, somebody coming through here that may be giving you that assistance, right? That friendship. But with the Ten of Pentacles being there, it's all about the long-term security and stability here. With whatever commitment is being made, whether it's in a work situation or with a relationship. But, it's all about your total balance and making, those amends with the past, with karma. But I like it. I mean, I worry a little bit coming into these, looking at the oracle cards. But, if you are thinking clearly here, maybe it's you realizing that there's no need to run after something. And then coming out, the Six of Wands. Fucking right. Thank you, Libra. Thank you. Thank you for proving me wrong. Oh, I would just say that, be careful on what your expectations are as far as signing anything. But with the Six of Wands coming out, now, you could be talking about somebody recognizing you. Absolutely here. But this is really about the job well done. And again, it's, being recognized, and you have people here and they're happy for you and celebrating your accomplishment here with the Six of Wands. And then the Ace of Swords, which is great to see next to the Knight of Cups. Okay, so now the Moon, right? And I've been saying this a lot with this one. And I'm telling you, it seems like every time I change decks, it's like the same shit just keeps coming out sometimes. Energies do change week to week, but sometimes there's some major shit that just seems to be lingering. The Moon, though. In this one, this is somebody who is coming out of illusions here. Getting out of that fog, getting back to that clarity. Now, with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Wands, you could definitely have somebody coming through that may be offering you something here. And then you have Mr. King of Pentacles. And this commitment, this celebration, this rebirth of you. and security and stability and this recognition going on, right? But the truth with the Ace of Swords, and again, reason, thinking clearly here, where at one time you may not have been, you know. And it's good to see. Like, it's good to see. I was so worried, Libra. It just doesn't look bad at all. But like the Knight of Cups, right? I love him. I do. I think it's great, right? The messenger of love and romance. But then also, you know, someone coming through here to make an offer. But emotions change. But when you see the Ace of Swords next to it, it's the truth. It is clarity here. And it's not bad. It's not bad. So whatever is being offered to you, I think that, you know, there may have been like an issue with the past and being overwhelmed, taking on too much, but it's like you handle it. But I do think that some of you may be like going into a new commitment here, you know, because of the Ten of Wands. It's the completion of that, right? It's completing itself out. But I'm looking at the Three of Cups, and you know, I actually feel like it's a good thing. And it's about goddamn time. Thank you, Libra. You actually have people around you that care about you, not wanting to talk about you. All right, guys, let's take a look at your love lives. So what it looks like here is for singles, first of all, like it's safe for you to love, and that's great. It's like you're opening up now, and it looks like you have a really happy relationship going on. This is playful. It's not serious, but it's satisfying and it's fun. And that's good to see. But for the couples here, it looks like somebody is trying to apologize for something. And, you know, paying attention to the red flags, this may be like a continuous issue, if you know what I mean. It's almost like they're constantly having to apologize here for something that they've done wrong. And there may be something a little bit deeper going on. But, you know, really it's about whether or not you can release the past, right? Forgive and forget is what comes up with this one, right? And then you have karma sitting here. Geez. So, you know, overall though, Libra, it's good that it was Temperance rather than your card Justice, because I think that this is more important than just having things fair and balanced. You need equilibrium with what is going on with you. But I think that you absolutely get it here. And everything looks really good coming out. I do think that there may have been like a period of confusion for you and needing to get the fuck out of the fog, especially with the Ten of Wands being there. But, you know, whatever is coming through here, it's straightforward and honest. And definitely you have absolute mental clarity coming through. All right, Libra, so thank you so much for proving me wrong on this, because I was like so worried going through this. Now, I'm partial to Libra because I have 4 planets in Libra in the 6th house. Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and Venus. So like when things aren't fair and balanced, like I freak out. Like I can't even imagine what Libra suns go through, and I swear to God, they're some of my best friends. But I love the fact that it wasn't your card that came through on this, it was Temperance. You know, even though this is Sag's thing here, I think it's perfect for you and what's going on. Now, things look like they get really good for you guys. I mean, like really good here once you like wipe away the past. With karma being there and then looking at the Ten of Wands. I'm done carrying the burdens. I'm done doing it here. Now, I don't think that this King of Pentacles is a bad thing. I do think that for some of you, you're like in the middle here of getting out of a commitment and then possibly going into a new one. And now this could be a relationship, but it could also be work. But I do think that you have people that actually give a shit about you, which is great, because I was so worried, because one of the things about balance is that these people don't want anything to do with the person in the back anymore because of the choices that they made. Right? But I don't think that that's it. Now, looking at it, I am going to say again, whatever you are signing, make sure that you look at it in detail before you do it. Like, I would feel wrong not saying that to you with everything that I've read and seen here. Now, it could be that you are getting that mental clarity absolutely here with the Ace of Swords coming out. And you're no longer chasing illusions. And again, you know, with the moon being there, it makes sense, right? But it looks like the commitment that you make, the new one here, it's going to cause celebration, because I think for you, it's ultimate security and stability. For some of you, it may be buying a home, looking at the Ten of Pentacles. But whatever it is, I'm telling you, it looks like a really good thing, especially with the Six of Wands coming out. You've got victory, and I love it. But I do think that there was a period of like being in the fog, not really knowing what the hell you were going to do here, but I do think that you're getting out of it. But then also here with the Knight of Cups, if you do have an offer coming through, whether it's about buying a house, or if it's about a job, or if it's a relationship here, it is the truth. And you have absolute mental clarity here about a person, possibly, and what they may be trying to offer you. But like I said, with the Three of Cups and the Hierophant or the High Priest, you have people that give a shit about you, and I'm so glad that this showed up as a positive thing. It's like you're free to do what you need to do, and you're being supported this time rather than having people tell you what they think you should be doing. Now, as far as your relationships go, singles, oh my God. You know, if this isn't something that everybody wants here, it's safe for you to love. And then when you do feel like it's safe for you to love, look at that Four of Wands. It's so much fun. And it's happy. It's not serious. It's lighthearted. Everything is going good. It's fantastic. I love that card when it shows up, because to me, these are happy people who are having fun with their relationship. Couples. Pay attention to the red flags. And then you have the Five of Cups. Here's the thing. If there are red flags going on, I do think that, you know, you accept an apology here, but I think it might be a continuous thing. And that may be the issue. Now, the red flag could be that, you know, you're going to have somebody apologize for something stupid. But I get the feeling that for some of you, this is like a continuous thing. Somebody constantly, you know, looking for your forgiveness for their fuck-ups, you know, and it doesn't have to be anything like cheating or, you know, anything really bad, just like doing stupid stuff. And it could be that you just need to address the issue and kind of get things where you don't have somebody feeling like they constantly need to apologize. But, you know, I don't want to put drama that's not there. I just think that if this is a continuous thing, then maybe it needs to be looked at and discussed if you want to have, you know, that nice equilibrium within a relationship. But not bad, Libra. And thank you for proving me wrong.